Trial process now wrapped up for Aaron Spencer, the Lonoke County father accused of killing a man who allegedly sexually abused his daughter. The hearing centered around missing evidence that detectives admitted to losing. And now all eyes turn to the trial that starts near the end of January. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brooke Buckner.
And I'm Faith Woodard. It's a case that has garnered national attention, and THV 11's Tanya Motorzitsky was in the Lonoke County courtroom once again today to catch us up on where things stand.
The focus during the last day of Aaron Spencer's pre-trial hearing was not the gunfire or grief, but about what jurors may never get to see. Attorneys debate about dash cam footage from Michael Fossler's truck that no longer exists and who's responsible for that loss. During Thursday's hearing, it was discovered the lead detective on the investigation did not properly put the dash cam video of the incident into evidence within a timely manner. The investigator told attorneys he had it in his office, and it wasn't until a year later, just this past October, when the dash cam was properly submitted into evidence. Then earlier this month, the SD card for the dash cam was reported missing. The detective acknowledged the violation, telling the court he secured the card properly in the camera. Prosecution says the mistake on the detective's behalf was not in bad faith and there is not any Brady violation. While the defense says sound from the video would let us know what happened in real time. We caught up with Spencer's attorney, Aaron Casanelli, after pretrial.
It should shock the conscience of the court that that item of evidence has obvious, substantial value. I just can't imagine why it wasn't immediately preserved. And, you know, I think the testimony today was a lot of mistakes were made, and I can understand. I mean, we're all human. I understand mistakes. But once mistakes pile up to a certain degree, they're no longer mistakes.
The DA's office declined to give a comment, but Casanelli says they're preparing for trial and shared how Spencer is holding up.
You know, he's anxious. This is a terrible experience all the way around, and he's ready to get it over with. So we're looking forward to trial in January.
Thank you, Tanya. The judge didn't make a ruling yet on if the missing dash cam footage can be used during trial, but did say she'd have an answer on that after the holidays. The trial starts January 26th, and THV 11 will be there bringing you updates. Meanwhile, Attorney General Tim Griffin announced a man in Grant County has been arrested on CSAM charges. He says investigators took the man, 62-year-old Mark Cagle, on 20 felony counts of the crime. He was booked into the Sheridan Detention Center and is being held on a $500,000 bond.
A woman in Little Rock is also now behind bars after admitting to stealing nearly $2.1 million in federal loans designed to assist businesses during the COVID pandemic. 33-year-old Chandler Carroll will spend 24 months in federal prison. In her plea agreement, Carroll admitted to receiving federal payments from a total of 4 fraudulent loans. Of that total, nearly $160,000 has been recovered. She will have to pay back the other $1.9 million.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Nathan Scott in for Chief Meteorologist Tom Brandon. We had a cold front make its way through early this afternoon. Brought us around showers and some thunderstorms, especially into East Arkansas. All that activity now has made its way into Tennessee and also Mississippi. And behind this front, we've got cooler numbers. It's 48 in Searcy, 55 here in Little Rock after seeing the numbers warm up into the low to mid 60s this afternoon. Still 60 in Monticello, but it's 50 in Fayetteville, and that cooler, less humid air is continuing to build its way in here from the northwest. Along with that, it's breezy. We've got a wind about 15 miles per hour here in Little Rock, but the gust 25 to as high as 30 miles per hour. That colder air is going to continue to pour its way down while you're sleeping tonight with clear skies. We're going to begin our Friday on the chilly side. Seasonably chilly. Temperatures drop down into the upper 20s to lower 30s. Lots of sunshine to close out the work week Friday to get last minute Christmas shopping done. Highs into the low to mid 50s. But guess what? The 60s, they return this weekend. And actually, I've got 70s in my 7-day forecast. More on that coming up.
Nathan, thank you. The temperatures are going to rise, and so is the number of people traveling within the next week or so. Between December 14th and January 4th, Clinton National is expected to see nearly 80,000 people fly in and out of Little Rock. And today, TSA members offer tips and advice to make sure they all have as easy of a trip as possible.
You want to make sure you allow yourself enough time to deal with traffic, find a parking spot, and make sure you're walking through the airport doors 2 hours ahead of your flight. That'll save you some time, and it'll also allow for time if there's anything you have to make adjustments for.
You'll also want to make sure you have a real ID. That way you don't get caught up in any extra security screening lines. TSA also recommends that you wait until you reach your holiday destination to wrap any gifts you may bring with you. And if you're hitting the roads, we've got some good news as holiday travel is getting a little cheaper at the pump. According to AAA, Arkansas drivers are paying an average of $2.46 a gallon, the lowest statewide price since March of 2021. That's down 7 cents from last week and nearly 20 cents cheaper than this time last year. AAA says strong fuel supply and low crude oil prices are keeping gas affordable as millions hit the road for the holidays.
A Republican health care bill passed the House last night, but it did not extend expiring Affordable Care Act subsidies, all but assuring those tax breaks will lapse at the end of the year. And that means millions who got discounts on the insurance they purchased through healthcare.gov may see their premiums rise next month. There's been plenty of concern over who could get stuck with those steep new bills. THV11's Maya Ellison has been following this closely and hears from the state insurance commissioner to help clear things up.
There's been a lot of noise about the expiration of the Enhanced Affordable Care Act, enhanced subsidies. It's not a surprise. Okay, it's been scheduled for expiration for a number of years.
For the nearly 80,000 Arkansans who buy insurance through the ACA marketplace, that expiration could mean higher monthly premiums. CBS News reports the House decision to pass the GOP-backed health care bill now forces many families to rethink their coverage. Though, Arkansas state leaders say the impact won't be the same for everyone.
What that looks like for someone going on the exchange looking for a health insurance policy is they're going to see higher premiums for silver plans.
So think of it like this. Bronze is a small plate, silver is a full meal, and gold is all you can eat. You pay more up front, but have fewer surprises later. But if tax credits expire, Arkansas Insurance Commissioner Jimmy Harris explains where you fall on the poverty line, tells how much coverage you truly receive.
So with these changes, what does this even mean for Arkansans?
Most people with health insurance through their employer, this is not going to have an impact. These subsidies are only found on the health insurance exchange.
So, to better understand, I made an appointment with Tiger Insurance Agency owner James Arell.
Hey, Mr. James, how are you?
He says Arkansans earning just over 400% of the federal poverty line could see the biggest jump.
All right, so you can see this is the chart I was telling you, but this is the 400% level right here. If you make $1 more than that, you don't get tax credits. All right, so that could be the difference between a $200 plan and a $2,000 plan.
So, his advice to clients.
Find out what your premium is for January, review your application, and then look at your options.
In Little Rock, Maya Ellison, THV11 News.
Thank you, Maya. Commissioner Harris says not all subsidies are going away, and the state has worked with insurance companies to soften the blow for different coverage options. The deadline to buy a policy on the exchanges that would cover you starting January 1st passed on Monday. So if you're still waiting, you're probably going to have a lapse in coverage, but acting quickly now can get you back under coverage by February 1st.
The Natural State has been selected to receive special funding from the federal government to help improve students' ability to read.
It comes as lawmakers continue to focus on education after passing the LEARNS Act in 2023. It aims to reshape the state's education system, including the requirement of third graders needing to meet that reading level to move to fourth grade.
Today, during a literacy roundtable, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders announced the 2 grants the state is receiving from the Department of Education to help. It will bring about $25 million, and she says that's a big deal.
Independence County is a great example. They went from having only 3 tutors in that county to now 15 in the last year. They went from having around a 3 to 5% participation rate in the tutoring programs to 90% participation rate.
The governor says she's thankful for the progress that's being made as a state and how Arkansas is competing with others.
Entergy, one of Arkansas's biggest energy providers, is announcing a new plan aimed at improving reliability and increasing power, all while keeping rates below the national average. It comes as the population continues to grow in Arkansas, and alongside it, the need for more energy resources. They held a press conference just a few hours ago to outline the plan and share how the Arkansas Jobs Act of 2025 that was passed earlier this year plays into it. THV 11's Catherine Rowley was there, and we'll have more tonight at 10.
We're down right now 21% overall crime, about 12 to 13% violent crime, and that's because of our holistic approach of both prevention, intervention, treatment programming, targeted patrols, and the leadership of Chief Helton.
And you can also catch our one-on-one with Mayor Frank Scott Jr. tonight on THV 11 News at 10. Our Journey Taylor sits down with the Little Rock leader to look back at this year and looking forward to the next, talking crime rates, hiring police officers, and whether he'll run for another term. That's tonight at 10. But still to come here at 6, a look at the former Pinnacle Mountain Visitor Center and why it may be gearing up for a new look.
Plus, later in sports, we get you set for the Red Wolves bowl game in Frisco versus Missouri State.
Friday will feature lots of sunshine, not only for us here in Little Rock, but also if you're headed to Hot Springs to check out the horse racing at Oaklawn. Temperatures will be into the upper 40s, warming up into the low 50s for highs. But we've got a big warm up just in time for Santa Claus to arrive here in the Natural State. I'll have more on that toasty forecast coming up.